Hello, beautiful collectives out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl. And this is your monthly forecast for November 2025. Okay, we're already at the end of the year, but we're still in Scorpio season, and there's a lot of Scorpio energy out there. So there's a lot of reveal. You know, Scorpio is mysterious, but the revealing of the false truths are coming out in the open. So just be aware that, you know, the untruths, the lies, the underhanded hate is showing up. And that way, that energy can be dealt with. We have a full moon that's coming up on the 5th, and it's a super full moon, and it's in the sign of Taurus. And Taurus is about agriculture and about finances. But here in the U.S., we can see the breakdown of our governmental system and the those people who are in need of extra help for food and subsidy. So that is opening up and crumbling out into the open. But then on a personal note, those who are those people who have been deceitful, deceiving, and out to hide their feelings towards another person is coming out in the open. Okay, and that energy that's coming out has to be dealt with. Okay, so that's the purpose of it being shown. That's why the veil is thin now, so that each individual can see what it is that you're doing and what it is that has been done to you. Now, those people who have been done to, you'll get to see how this karmic energy plays out, because all of that negative energy that has been thrown at you by, you know, people you don't know, is being returned to sender. Okay, and it's once it's returned to its sender, it has to be dealt with. Okay, so anyway, as I said before, this is your monthly reading for November. Now, as we get into the month, we have Mars entering Sagittarius on the 4th. And we have that super full moon on the 5th. And Venus moves into Scorpio on the 6th. Uranus is retrograding back to Taurus at that 29 degrees on the 7th. And Mercury turns retrograde in Sagittarius on the 9th. Jupiter turns retrograde in Cancer on the 11th. Mercury turns retrograde, I just said that. The new moon in Scorpio is at 28 degrees, and that's on the 19th. And Saturn in Pisces is stationing direct on the 27th, and then Mercury turns direct on the 29th. So with all of the retrogrades that are happening now, this is turning you inward to look at those areas in your life that needs to be refurbished or cleansed, I will say. Okay, Now, a lot of you may not be ready to face your fears because that's exactly what's happening in this Scorpio energy. It's a lot of fear-based energy that is showing up. But when you face your fears and you deal with what it is that's coming up for you, then over time, you'll be able to take a step up in your vibration. So, with all of this energy happening, especially with Uranus, it is like an electric energy where things happen all of a sudden. But while it's in retrograde, it won't act as fast as it would normally act if it was in its forward motion. So I just want to say that those people who are out there who are trying to hurt, cause pain, trauma to another person, all of that is coming back to you. And a lot of times people cannot take what they dish out. They can't handle it. So are you ready to handle what you are dishing out? That is up to you. And now it's time for me to get into the forecast for the month. So I will see you on the other side. Hello to my beautiful Cancer risings out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl. I want to say a magnificent flow, but it's Astro Cheryl. Okay, so this is your forecast for November 2025. And welcome to my channel. Okay, we're going to get right into the forecast for you this month. I did an intro with the highlights of the month, so we'll move on forward. So on the 3rd of November, we have Mars in Scorpio trining retrograde Neptune in Pisces in your 5th house and your 9th house. Okay, so trines are usually considered as gifts from God, okay, for the sake of experience. Okay, so your 5th house is your house of creativity, romantic endeavors, hobbies, children, and your inner child. Okay, and your 9th house is about higher learning, spirituality, philosophy, your beliefs, foreign travel, other cultures, teaching, and publishing. Okay? So, during this transit, your intuition and imagination make this an excellent time for artistic, romantic, or spiritual endeavors where your actions are aligned with your ideas. This is also a time for internal reflection and refining your deeper motivations and dreams. Be aware of setting your boundaries because Neptune in Pisces is boundless, and you have to pay attention in order to have those boundaries set, And just so you know, we have a lot of water energy in the month of November, and you are a water sign as well, so you might be affected, emotionally, because there's a lot of change that's happening within us, and sometimes we feel it, sometimes we see it, but it is changing us from the inside out. Okay? So, let's see. What else did I say? This is also a time for internal reflection and refining your deeper motivations and dreams. Okay, the boundaries. That's where I got lost. All right. So make sure that you set your boundaries when you're interacting with other people. You know, you may have that need to want to, fix them or do more for them. But, sometimes it's a good time to not do that and just give more of that energy to you. Okay? All right, so that's what boundaries are all about. Either you're going to go boundless and put all your energy out there to all of those other people, or you're going to bring your energy back into you and hold it close. Okay? All right, so we're going to move to the fourth. We have Mars entering in Sagittarius in your sixth house, and that's going to, that's your house of routine, your house of health, your house of work, your house of being of service, your house of your co-workers as well. And let's see, I think that's it. All right, so you are encouraged to embrace new challenges, adopt more active, adventurous forms of exercise, and Mars and Sagittarius are both fire signs, so they like movement, okay? So you might want to do some jogging or whatever, running, what other physical stuff that you can do. The gym is a place of physical stuff as well. So this is something that you want to, incorporate. You may find yourself restless with routine and eager to take projects that expand your horizons or push your boundaries, okay? However, there is the risk of overextending yourself and burnout. So, creating those boundaries, okay, is important in order for you to, you know, not overextend and not burn out. All right. So on that same day, which is the 4th, we have Mars in Sagittarius in an opposition to retrograde Uranus in Gemini. And this is happening in your 6th house and your 12th house. Okay? And we talked about the 6th house. The 12th house is your place of retreat, your own self-undoing, your subconscious information, karma, old thought patterns or old patterns that we probably were brought up through our parents, that sits there. And brothels are part of that, hidden enemies as well, and institutions. But here, we don't have to look at that broader picture of institutions and brothels, okay? Expect dramatic shifts in productivity or health due to surprises from your unconscious emotional outbursts tied to your buried frustrations and disruptive insights demanding changes in habits. Watch for accidents, impulsiveness, outbursts, and abrupt spiritual or psychological breakthroughs. Now, the breakthroughs are the positives, but you have to have get a handle on your emotions, okay? And because, if they show up around other people, or, if it's affecting other people, it's affecting them not because they've done something wrong, it's just because you're working through what you're working through. So just be careful of who you hit with the energy. So on the 5th, we have a full moon in Taurus, and this is happening in your 11th house of large groups, memberships, church, your friendship connections. If you have large group of friends, they are here as well. And Taurus is a fixed sign and doesn't like change, It wants the status quo. But during this full moon, some of that status quo energy you have to let go of. Okay, this is a time to reflect on your authentic goals, the role of vulnerability in your social life, and how you can cultivate more balanced, nurturing connections that align with your true self. It may trigger sudden insights or changes related to your social aspirations and group affiliations as well, possibly inviting new people or causes into your life that can help you express your individuality and your social consciousness as well. So release so you can make room for new, exciting people into your life that could possibly help you achieve, your goals or bring you, luck. So on the 6th, we have Jupiter in Cancer trining retrograde Saturn in Pisces. And this is happening in your first house of self. This is how you look, how you dress, how you act, how you communicate, and how other people perceive how you look, act, dressed, and communicate. Okay? And the 9th house. Did I speak on the 9th house yet? Yeah, I did. So the 9th house of spirituality, other cultures, long distance travel, philosophy, your belief systems, teaching, and publishing. Okay, so this transit indicates a period of emotional, supportive, personal growth fueled by optimism and compassion, combined with disciplined reflection on beliefs and higher learning, resulting in balanced and meaningful progress in both self and world view realms. Okay? And as I said before, trines are gifts, from God. So, it's nothing that you really have to do, but just experience. Okay, on that same, let's see, on the same day, we have Venus in Scorpio squaring Jupiter in Cancer. And this is happening in your 5th house of creativity and your 1st house. Now, did I talk about the 5th house yet? So we got the 5th house and the 1st house that I've already discussed, so I don't have to tell you what these parts and pieces are. Okay, this transit suggests that there are tensions and challenges between desires for deep, intense emotional connections and emotional growth or expansion. You may experience emotional turbulence in relationships, conflicts between personal desires and the need for emotional security, and potentially overindulgence or excess in love and pleasure. It can bring inflated feelings or unrealistic expectations in romance, requiring balance and patience to avoid any discord. Okay, so this is about growing up. This is about being emotional intelligent. Okay, so this square is about growth. Oppositions and squares are all about growth. And you may, respond to it, you know, in pain and verbally, express that pain. But in the long run, you have to see yourself. And when you look at yourself, that's when you can start making the changes, because you will be able to see what other people see and experience what other people experience when you are around, okay? Especially in this type of situation, okay, where it affects the people that's closest to you. Okay, so we're going to move on to the 7th, and we have Uranus in retrograde moving back into the sign of Taurus, and this is happening in your 11th house. And I've already spoken about Taurus in your 11th house. Okay, so this is a period of profound inner reflection, reconsideration, and potential upheaval related to your social circle. Long-term goals and connections with collective causes or communities, your stability around your values, finances, security, and how you relate to your tangible resources may get a shake-up. And that's because Uranus shakes things up, because Uranus wants us to be free, have our freedom to choose and experience and explore new concepts, okay? So you may be drawn to unconventional or progressive social circles, communities focused on innovation, technology, social reform, or astrology. So this is where Uranus come in. This is what you might be moving towards if you're not already there. Okay? So on the 9th, we have Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, and this is happening in your 6th house of work, daily routines, okay, and being of service. This is an ideal time to review and refine your routines. Remember, retrogrades are all about going within, reflecting, refining, revising things. Routines, schedules, and work practices. You may encounter delays or misunderstandings in communication at work, because Mercury is retrograde and Mercury is known for, miscommunications. This is also a good time to revisit health-related habits, adopt new wellness routines, or reassess existing ones. But listen to your body cues. Okay, reflect on your philosophical or spiritual concerns around your daily tasks and your overall life direction. Okay, pay attention. Cancer rising. So on the 11th, we have Jupiter turning retrograde, and it's happening in your 1st house in the sign of Cancer, Cancer rising. So this may be a time to increase self-awareness and inner growth, with the potential for professional recognition and improved self-esteem. This is a potential of feeling unsupported or emotionally restricted. Okay, this time favors cultivating emotional balance, leadership with compassion, and personal optimism grounded in deep self-knowledge. Okay, so love yourself, support yourself. Okay, so on the 19th, we have a new moon in Scorpio, and this is in your 5th house of creativity, romance, play, your inner child. This is a moment to embrace your inner child tap into your passions, and possibly face any hidden fears, that's Scorpio, or emotional blockage that may be holding you back from fully expressing yourself. Romance and intimacy may deepen. You may have creative breakthroughs and start new ventures involving children or play. And just be careful of the issues around control, okay? On the 22nd, we have Sagittarius, the sun entering Sagittarius in your 6th house. And this sun encourages you to refine your daily habits and tasks with a fresh burst of energy and optimism, because that's Sagittarius energy. You may feel motivated to improve your efficiency, organize your life effectively, and take better care of your health. It's a good time for initiating fitness regimes, improving work discipline, and tackling chores with the enthusiasm. Yeah, that is so true, because Sagittarius is a fire sign, and it likes to feel the body, okay? So the body movement is important for Sagittarius energy, and in this case it's in your 6th house, and you may feel motivated to move more, to get involved more in, taking care of your body. So on the 27th, we have Saturn turning direct, and that's on in Pisces in your 9th house. So this transit brings to the surface the karmic lessons related to philosophy, higher learning, spiritual beliefs. And you may be in the process of solidifying and structuring your belief system, balancing your intuitive insights with practical realism, because Pisces is a psychic energy, it's a healing energy, it's boundless. And Neptune is an earth energy, it's grounding, it keeps you in reality, okay? So this is great because you can now utilize this transformative energy, even though it's not Scorpio energy, but this is changing things for you when Saturn turns direct. Okay? Your knowledge and wisdom shape your personal growth and leadership qualities as well. And so we have Mercury on the 29th, stations direct. And this is in your, let's see, it's in your 5th house of creativity. So in your 5th house of creativity, Mercury stationing direct, your communication is intense, it is compassionate, it is caring, and it wants to connect on a deeper level. So just know that passion is open to you when Mercury turns direct. Okay, Cancer rising, this is your forecast for November 2025. And until next time, bye for now.